Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Zach, aka Keats39 here to bring you another NFL Monday Night Showdown. Um, we're the Ravens and Colts. Somehow covering Monday Night Football. I've covered Baltimore like 27 times already this year. So I have a good idea of what to expect. Apologies for this glare again. But yeah, it's a weird slate. Baltimore's always really tough for showdowns because they play with a running quarterback and then a solid defense. Um, but I don't mind this slate tonight. So we're gonna go ahead and get right into this one. So I'll start with the Baltimore side. Obviously tonight is another one of those nights where I'm just playing Lamar captain, pretty much no matter what. Um, hasn't been as effective as Rush for the last couple of games. I guess Indy isn't like the best spot for him. Um, but he is definitely the highest floor, highest ceiling option on a slate where there's no really number two or number three guy to spend up for. Um, so yeah, I'm pretty much just locking him into my captain spot in cash and probably miss GPPs honestly, because there's really no one else that sticks out. I will say that the one thing that if you do want to play Marquise Brown, it's a little hard to get Lamar at captain. Um, However, I think it's still very possible. You just have to fade a couple other guys. Um, I wanted to check in on Rashad Bateman. I saw that he might come back this week, but I guess we'll find out later today. I feel like he had to take him off the IR by now, so I'm gonna guess there's no Rashad Bateman, but don't quote me on that. So yeah, Marquise Brown, not a good spot for him either. Colts always just try to limit big plays, which is what he does. However, he's been really good this year, so um, I understand if you don't want to fade him. Next up, we're going to go Lat Murray. I actually like Lat Murray a lot. If you go last week, the snap counts. Where is he? 62% of the snaps, Le'Veon Bell 27%, Devontae Freeman 8%. So yeah, I definitely ranked them Lat Murray, Lev Bell. And they gave him a ton of carries. Had 18, I believe. Yeah, 18 for 60. In a game that I'm projecting in the lead, so I expect a very kind of similar output. 7.4. Anytime you're in an offense with Lamar Jackson running the ball, I like you. Denver, not a good spot either. So I actually think that it's probably a little better of a spot. Not great, but yeah, I'll take his 18 or 15 to 20 carries in a game where their list has -7. I'm kind of surprised it's not higher with how bad Carson Wentz has been this year. Mark Andrews, he's my favorite passing option for this team. We got tight ends. Snap counts are coming back down to earth. It was really fun playing with on these ones. Maybe with them having the lead last game had a decent amount to do with it. So I'm not going to panic on the 60% snap rate yet. I'm just kind of bank on playing 75% of snaps. And in the Sun defense, I think that Mark Andrews might be the one that beats the offense. But I also could see Sammy Watkins, who I think is also another solid play. This is why I'm not really jamming in Marquise Brown. It's because I like these mid-tier guys just a little more. Very similar role, but don't have the big play touchdown upside that Marquise Brown has and has gotten several times already this year. So yeah, like I think Mark Andrews does score tonight. And Sammy Watkins is getting 7 targets a game, like 8 targets. It's tough to beat that. I fit 5.8. So yeah, Mark Andrews has been a similar 8.755. So yeah, like both these guys, they're definitely lower than Marquise, but yeah, they're pretty much averaging the same amount. So like total targets, they might be down 1. So yeah, I think I prefer to attack these mid-tier Baltimore guys over Marquise Brown. So yeah, then you have Justin Tucker, who I obviously love. Ravens D is very much in play here. I don't play defenses on showdowns, but could definitely justify them playing them against a banged up Colts offensive line in a game they're going to trail. Don't really have much interest in Devin Duvernay. Would rather just play Justin Tucker for 800 cheaper. Who has been awesome yet again this year, to no one's surprise. 13, 17, 7, 11, like a 7.4 at 4K is really, really solid. I guess the last guy I'll mention is Lev Bell. Played 25 snaps or so last week, 4 for 11, one target. In a game that they would be losing, I would think Lev Bell would be the guy that starts playing. So if you're building for that type of game script, Le'Veon Bell is who I would look to target. And that's pretty much it. Like, you can play Freeman and just hope he gets like one carry for 20 yards, one catch for 20 yards, something like that. I guess I'll mention where is it? Rashad Bateman. If he were to be active, you definitely could take a stab at him in GPP. Like, he is probably my second or third favorite wide receiver in this class. I hated the landing spot, but obviously Baltimore's playing a different style this year, where Lamar Jackson is throwing a lot more and throwing for a lot of yards. So Rashad Bateman is definitely a better talent than Devin Duvernay. So yeah, definitely like Lamar Jackson here, or Rashad Bateman if he were to be active. Over to the Colts side, really, really tough to project. Like, I think that they're going to be trailing, so I think Carson wants them to play just because the game script has not been very good this year, but I think it's tough. Jonathan Taylor, really, really, I love Jonathan Taylor, but like, this is not the matchup for him. Solid run defense, banged up offensive line, going to be trailing. Like, I just don't see a way, which is exactly why he probably will have a big game, but I don't see this being a Jonathan Taylor game. His stats have been all year: 55, 45, 48, 51. Just don't play him when they're trailing, and when they're winning, they ran out Marlon Mack last week. So, it's tough to project. Michael Pittman is definitely wide receiver one on this offense. 8 targets, 12, 12, 4. I worry that he seems a lot of Marlon Humphrey. But even if that's the case, like, I still think that Carson Wentz is a guy that's going to throw in the tight windows. So I could still see him hitting double-digit targets. And again, he's going to be targeted a lot down, being trailing. So I think Michael Pittman is very, very in play. Just not my favorite play. But he's my preferred wide receiver if you're going there. Zach Pascal has just been a TD machine. His targets are fair. I can't justify really him paying this much for him. When you have a guy with 5.4, 5-point game, 6-point game, back to back, leading team in snaps, or second on the team in snaps, I apologize. So I do like that. So yeah, it's just really tough in this offense, but I think they're both in play. I prefer Pittman, but Nyheim Hines, he is my favorite option on this team. He's gonna plays that when they're trailing role. He'll play either, like, both ways, even if they're winning. But it becomes his offense when they're trailing. So yeah, I kind of expect like closer to this 56% snap rate. And he is a beast PPR machine. He does come in with like a very, very low floor, which is always a scary part playing Nyheim Hines. He's very, honestly, I feel like he's tough to project. I've never got him right. Like, this would be a game that they just roll Jonathan Taylor out in pass situations, because he is a good pass catcher, which is always confused me. But I mean, Nyheim Hines is better at that, so I guess I understand it. But he's probably my favorite play from this Colts side of the ball. I just think Baltimore has given up receiving yards to backs this year as well, so that's how I'm attacking this Colts offense. Honestly, it's a good. We've seen on Monday Night Football the Ravens get destroyed by tight ends. We saw Malik Hawks have a really good game last week. However, I'm proceeding this with caution. Jack Doyle was very game time decision last week and went from his 60% average to 30%, and that boosted him up to 70%. Even Kylan Granson, I think you could punt with him after playing 30 snaps. I'm not going to do it. Not really a receiving guy, but um, yeah, Mo Cox, 70. If you think that that's the case again, I love Mo Cox. But for those reasons, I prefer Jack Doyle as a punt play just because I think that was just more due to him being banged up last week than um, really like what they're actually thinking. Go back to Paris Campbell. Yeah, went from 80% snaps to 44. They're winning this. Yeah, I think that Paris Campbell is a very, very viable punt too. I am a big Paris Campbell fan. I think he's very, very good, but just hasn't had the targets this year. So as a punt, I think that he's fun. I prefer Tucker and Blankenship over him though, for sure in cash. And probably even GPP. He's more of a dart throw. Um, but like if you bet on talent guy, I really like Paris Campbell as a player, so don't mind going after him there. Um, as I mentioned, Granson played 30 snaps last week, so he's in play. In a game that you think they'd be winning, I think Marlon Mack is in play, but I think that that's not going to happen. So, yeah, that's going to do it. So I'm personally definitely attacking the Baltimore side more, capturing Lamar Jackson, then probably playing Lat Murray and two receivers, maybe something along those lines. Um, but I could see getting 3-3 here, with like going like Wentz Hines and then a receiver, or Blankenship. So yeah, that's how I'm playing this one. Um, that's gonna do it. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Later.